Let's move on to the language called Ruby. Ruby was conceived on 24th February 1993 by Yukihiro Matsumoto, who wished to create a new language that balanced functional programming with imperative programming. According to Matsumoto's, he wanted a scripting language that was more powerful than Perl and more object-oriented than Python. Ruby was introduced by Yukihiro Matsumoto in 1993 and was officially released by MATS in 1995. Rails framework was designed and given by David Heinemeier Hansson in 1994. It was developed under the MIT license system and thus made Ruby on Rails an open source and free to be implemented by everyone. This is one important reason why Ruby on Rails has acquired a significant position in programming. Let's look at Ruby milestone. It means the path of success. 1995, the first public release of Ruby 0.95 was announced on Japan Domestic News Group on December 21st, 1995. 1996, Ruby reached version 1.0 in December 25th, 1996. 1993, release of Ruby 1.3. 2000, the language book Programming Ruby in September. The last stable version of the reference implementation is 1.9.1 in 13 January 2009. Let's look at the features of the Ruby. Ruby has a wealth of other features, among which are the following. Um, First one is pure object oriented. That's why we are talking here. The object oriented as object or pure object oriented language. And then the second one is exception handling. Ruby has exception handling features like Java or Python to make it easy to handle errors. Exception handling is a programming language construct or computer hardware mechanism designed to handle the occurrence of exceptions, special conditions that exchange the normal flow of execution. Next feature is automatic garbage collector. Ruby provide garbage facility. Ruby features a true mark and sweep garbage collector for all Ruby objects. Therefore, no need to maintaining reference counts in extension libraries. To get the knowledge about garbage collection, it's important to know about what is garbage collection. It's a form of automatic memory management. The garbage collector or just collector attempt to reclaim garbage or memory used by objects that will never be accessed or mutated by the application. Next one is independent threading. Independent threading means Ruby features OS independent threading. This for all platforms on which Ruby runs. You also have multi-threading regardless of if the OS supports it or not. It doesn't matter. It can run its own threads. Next feature is it's highly portable. And means Ruby is highly portable. It's developed mostly on Linux, but works on many type of Unix, Mac OSs, Windows, any type of Windows, DOS, BOS, any type of operating systems. Next feature is load extension library. It means Ruby can load extension libraries dynamically if an OS allows. Next feature is supports dependency injection. Dependency injection and computer programming refers to the process of supplying an external dependency to a software component. It's a specific form of inversion of control where the concern being inverted is the process of obtaining the needed dependency. There are more features. Ruby provides 6 variable scoping, means 6 level of variable scopes: global, class, class instances, instance, local, and block scoping. The next one is iterators and closures. An iterator is an object that allows a programmer to traverse through all the elements of a collection regardless of its specific implementation. An iterator is sometimes called a cursor, especially within the context of a database. A closure is a function that is evaluated in an environment containing one or more bound variables. When called, the function can access these variables. Closure is associated with functional programming and with languages such as ML, Lisp, and Perl. Constructs such as objects in other languages can also be modeled with closures. Next feature is operator overloading. Uh, Operator overloading is a specific case of polymorphism in which some or all of operators like plus, equal, and plus any different implementations depending on the type of their arguments. Sometimes the overloading are defined by the language. Sometimes the programmer can implement support for new types. Operator overloading is useful because it allows the developer to program using notation closer to the target domain and allows user types to look like types built into the language. It can easily be emulated using function calls. For an example, consider the integers like ABC. It's a specific all operators like plus, equals. We can take the do some things using these variables via passing messages to their operator classes. uh, Ruby supports that methods can be called without parentheses. That's making Ruby popular for implementing. It's easy to implement. Ruby supports object runtime alteration. Means a type or object system can typically be modified during runtime in a dynamic language. This can mean generally new objects from a runtime definition or based on mixins of existing types or objects. This can also refer to changing the inheritance or type tree and thus altering the way that existing types behave. Usage. Ruby's primary focus is productivity of program development, and users will find that programming in Ruby is productive and even fun. Ruby is well suited for the problem domains such as text processing, CGI programming, network programming, GUI programming, XML programming, prototyping, education. Let's object-oriented characteristics of Ruby. All the user-defined types are objects. Here we illustrate how you can define a method in Ruby, how you can call a method in Ruby, how you can pass arguments to a method in Ruby. In Ruby, all predefined types are objects, same as Smalltalk. Here is an example of predefined data types. Print. Okay, thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope you have gained a fair amount of knowledge about our effort in this research project. However, it's not a complete project, as I have mentioned at the very beginning. The project is still being carried out. Therefore, we wish to produce a complete and comprehensive project at the end of this semester. Thank you again.